Hey guys, welcome to a very exciting game played in the FIDE Grand Swiss tournament. This game is from round 4 and the game is played between Ruslan Ponomariov and Badur Jobava. The reason I'm showing this game is because Caro-Kann defense was played and it's one of my favorite defenses. So let's just get into it. We have E4 by Ruslan, who has the white pieces, and Badur Jobava has the black pieces. We get C6, which is the Caro-Kann defense, and now D4. We have D5, and now knight to C3. This is a typical Caro-Kann structure where you first push your C6 pawn, then you play your D5, and this is how you contest your center. Usually, if white pushes the pawn further, it's the advanced Caro-Kann or advancing your pawn. That's the advanced variation. And then you just put your bishop here on F5 and you just control this nice diagonal. Also, if this bishop is immediately attacked, you play bishop to G6 and then go even back to H7 once you put this pawn further. So pretty interesting bishop here. We have D takes E4, but if it doesn't advance and if he plays something like here, moving the knight, then you just take this pawn. And once knight captures here on E4, you play bishop to B5, a free bishop move because now you're putting some pressure and developing your bishop with an attack on this knight. So knight to G3, now attacking the bishop, and now bishop to G6. Going back, and this is where you want to be with your bishop. And once this bishop usually develops to D3 square, which is the perfect square, you just take this bishop and get rid of your light square bishop. The reason why you do that is because you want to gain a nice structure with this move here on E6. And you will have a lot of pawns on white squares. Usually, if this D5 pawn is still there, then a lot of these pawns will be on this light square. So you want to get rid of the light square bishop, and you can maneuver with your dark square bishop anywhere you want. So we have H4. Now immediately pressing an attack on this bishop, you have to play H6 because you want to just hide the bishop back. Knight to F3, another developing move, and now knight to D7. We get H5, now attacking the bishop, and bishop to H7. Bishop to D3, finally once that this bishop is developed, you want to capture this bishop. Bishop takes D3. And now queen takes D3. In this position, it is considered equal even though black has made so many bishop moves. He has made 1, 2, 3 and 4 bishop moves compared to just one bishop move by white. You see two of the knights are developed, a queen is developed to a nice square. This bishop is ready to develop. So even though you think that white is ahead in development, king is ready to castle, it is still considered pretty good position for black. Black, all he has to do is push this pawn, get the bishop out, get the knight out, and then continue his game. So we get E6, finally opening up this bishop's diagonal, and the bishop is ready to now come out. Bishop to D2, white develops, and knight G to F6. It's a fine move, but I also like the other move. Once you develop the bishop out first, then you play knight to E7, and then the knight can come to F5. And there is a reason why, and I'm going to tell you the reason later on in the game. I'm going to show it to you practically why it makes sense for the knight to be on this F5 square. That's the ideal square for the knight to be on. So we have castles, queenside castles by white. Bishop to E7. Now looks like black is ready to castle kingside, but it could be a little risky because this queen is eyeing the nice diagonal, this bishop eyes a nice diagonal, these knights are ready to jump into the attack, and you have to be really careful with black here. It could be a wonderful position, but also it could be a mess. So you have to calculate everything precisely. We get king to b1, getting the king to safety, and now queen to b6, attacking this b file, keeping some pressure on this b2 pawn. We get knight to e5, now attacking this knight, and rook to d8, simply defending the knight. Queen to e2, and now castles. There was a reason why king to e2 was played, and it is after this move you'll probably be able to find it. Knight to g6. Now I'm going to show you what happens if you capture. It is absolutely a blunder, because if you think that he's giving a knight for free, that is absolutely not true. Let me show you what happens. If you capture here with the pawn, f takes g6, then you get queen captures here on e6 with the check. Now you have to, there are two ways, either you defend the check with the rook, or you have to move away with the king. If you move away with the king, you lose this bishop. If you block with the rook, you lose this rook after, your bishop, your rook will be pinned, and then you get this pawn captures here on g6. So, not going for that. It's better to get rid of your bishop than your rook. So just moving your king to h8. But there is a better move than queen captures here on e7, and the move is bishop takes h6. Now pawn takes h6, and now h takes g6. Finally, you open up this nice semi-open file. The rook is immediately going to attack, and it will be checkmate, and there is not much white can do to defend. You have to play something like knight back here, and then it will be eventually it will be winning position for white. And also black doesn't really have any attacks going, so it's a tough position to defend. But none of this was played, and in this position I want to show you what would have happened if this knight would be on f5 square. So imagine this knight being on f5. Now you defend this bishop correctly. So once you get f takes g6, now since your knight is here on f5, it's defending the bishop. So once you get queen takes e6 with check, all you have to do is move your king, and you don't have to worry about this bishop, because this knight will be protected by the rook and by the pawn. Even if you get the pawn captures or the same threat, it's still much better to play than to lose material, because if you get bishop captures, then your knight can capture here on h6, and it will be completely fine. Yes, you are losing your bishop, but that's completely fine. So that's why I like this knight to be here on f5. Again, it's something that I like to play, so I just want to share it with you. But none of this was played, and after knight to g6, the move that was played in the game was bishop to a3. Now, of course, you cannot capture this bishop because your king is hanging, and it would be an illegal move. See, the computer even doesn't allow me to capture it here. But you're also threatening a checkmate here on b2, so you have to defend. You have to play bishop to c1, defending this nice b2 square. We get rook f to e8, now defending this pawn, so finally you can capture. But rook to d3, saying if you capture my knight, that's fine, I'm just going to capture your bishop. And bishop to b2. Here black decides to give away with both of his bishops. And I don't know if this is an inaccuracy, but I would not like to go for this variation. I would like to keep my dark square bishop and trade it off for this dark square bishop, because this is a powerful piece and there are a lot of sacrifices possible on this diagonal. So we have bishop takes b2 and f takes g6. We have h takes g6 and now queen to b5. Once this knight moves, you are going to pin this rook. Knight to h5, now you cannot move the rook and because this queen is hanging behind it, and a5, now pushing the pawn even further. King to a1, getting out of any pins. Now a4, we get bishop to c1, again putting this bishop on a wonderful diagonal and also protecting this b2 square. We get a3. Now if this bishop moves, then you will get checkmate here on b2 square. So this bishop is going to stay here for a few minutes at least. We have g4. White has his pawns and he is definitely going to push them, try to create some weaknesses. This is a wonderful position for you guys to find, to pause the video and try to find the continuation. What black should have played was knight takes h5, rook takes h5 and queen to c4. This would have given him a chance to survive, but instead he played e5, which is a blunder and it's a losing move. So what continues after this is g5. Pushing the pawn even further, creating more weaknesses here, and now knight to d5. We get queen to f3. Look at these four pieces. They are stuck in the center of the board. They are neither assisting in the attack nor defending this king. So it's, I don't know what these minor pieces are doing. A couple of major pieces and a couple of minor pieces are doing here. Yes, I understand this knight. If you go back a move, this knight is now wanting to jump to c3, thereby creating a mating threat here on b2. There is a mating threat on b1 and on b2, but you can just simply capture it with the rook, not right now because your queen is hanging. So it's a good move, but grandmasters will calculate all these things precisely and you cannot try to fool them. So queen to f3 was played. Now if you try to trick the opponent, Ruslan is simply going to capture it with the rook, and there's nothing black can do. So we have rook to e7, now trying to defend the position, and rook to b3, attacking the queen. Queen to c4, and now g takes h6. We have g takes h6 and bishop to a3. Black is completely lost, not much he can do. He's getting these wonderful knight is covering all the squares. This rook is controlling this nice h file. As soon as this knight moves, he can even capture here on h6 and it will be all over. We have c5 trying to create some counterplay, and now knight to g3. e4 attacking the queen, and queen to h5. Now queen is also ready to jump into some action and try to checkmate this king here with the support of this rook. We get queen takes d4 with check, and bishop to d2. And now this bishop also controls this wonderful diagonal, so this king is pretty much stuck here. There's nothing he can do. He has to get his pieces closer into the game, but it's going to take some moves and it's going to be checkmate. So this was the final position on the board as Ruslan won the game and Jobava decided to resign. The reason why he decided to resign because he knew what followed, and I'm just going to show you a few moves. Actually, queen to d2. He played a move and then he resigned, but it doesn't matter. After this, we get knight to f5, attacking your rook, attacking this pawn here, and also keeping a control of this nice g7 square. We get knight d5 to f6, now attacking your queen. Queen to h4, putting your queen on a nice diagonal, looking at attacking three different pieces. So once this knight moves or it's attacked, your rook is a goner. Rook to g7, now trying to get some counterplay, but bishop takes f6. We get knight takes f6 and now queen takes f6. Queen to d4 with check, knight takes d4, and rook to f8. This is now a mate in 5 moves, so if you guys have some time, try to find this, but it's completely lost. I mean, these two pieces are stuck here defending checkmate threats against the king. You have 2 rooks and a knight who are open in the game. They can do whatever they want. This knight can even jump to e6, attack these two rooks, and nothing black can do about it. So this was a wonderful game that Jobava, even though he's a grandmaster, couldn't really play out the Caro-Kann. It's a very interesting defense, but if played correctly, it can be a great attacking defense also. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It definitely is my favorite defense, so whenever a grandmaster plays it, I am going to show those games. Keep enjoying the content. Thank you so much to all my subscribers for supporting the channel by subscribing to it. If you have any questions, comments or concerns, please let me know in the comment section below. Namaste. See you next time.